The House will come to order. The pledge today will be led by Tobin Snook, son of Representative Winters, Holden Lindquist, Chloe Walsh, and Riker Y.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Kohler, please call the roll.
Representatives Arndt, Becker J, Becker K, Brown, Buck, Buckner, Carver, Conti, Corum, Court, Danielson, Del Grosso, Dorr, Duran, Esgar, Everett, Fields, Foote, Garnett, Janal, Hamner, Humphrey, Joshi, Kagan, Klingenschmidt, Representative Klingenschmidt, Kraft-Tharp, Landgraf, Lawrence, Representative Lawrence,
Representative Lawrence excused.
Lebstock, Lee, Representative Lee, Leonard, Lontine, Lundeen, McCann, Melton, Mitch Bush, Moreno, Navarro, Neville, Nordberg, Pabon, Representative Pabon. Representative Lawrence is present. Representative Dan Pabon.
Representative Pabon excused.
Pedersen. Primavera. Priola. Rankin. Ransom. Rosenthal. Rupe. Ryden. Sane. Salazar. Sias. Singer. Thurlow. Tyler. Van Winkle. Vigil. Willett. Williams. Wilson. Windholes. Winter. Wist. Young. Representative Young. Madam Speaker.
Here. With 64 present, 1 excused, a quorum is present. Representative Escar.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, I'm pleading with you. I move that the reading of the Journal of Tuesday, February 9th be dispensed with and that it be approved as corrected by the Chief Clerk. Please.
You have heard, at least some of you have heard, the motion that the journal be adopted as corrected by the Chief Clerk. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Announcements and introductions. And members, let's have some order in the House. Thank you very much. And please place your attention at the well for people who are making announcements. And while everybody's getting organized to do that, the Speaker has an announcement of the following sponsor changes. Senator Tate will replace Senator Neville on House Bill 1160. Senators Sonnenberg and Garcia will replace Senator Hodge on House Bill 1170. And Senator Baumgardner will replace Senator Tate on House Bill 1232. I know that you all were very anxious to get that information. Representative Mitch Bush.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's an honor to serve with you.
And also with you.
Today is Realtor Day at the Capitol.
Would you give me, excuse me, Representative Mitch Bush, would you just give me 2 seconds so we can get everybody else in order? Okay, may we have quiet, please? And your attention at the well. Please proceed, Representative Mitch Bush.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today is Realtor Day at the Capitol. There is a lunch today, and we have realtors here, although I don't know how many are here, but I'd like to give a special shout out to one of my favorite realtors from Routt County, who is the incoming chair of the Routt County Board of Realtors, and she also was one of the founding members of the Yampa Valley Sustainability Council. Please help me welcome Angela Ashby.
That's a $3 fine, Representative Mitch Bush. Yeah, 3. Representative Hamner.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And not only is today supplemental day on second readings, it's also the birthday of 2 members in the chamber on the floor this morning, 2 birthdays. So I need to call up the Capitol Choir. If you look around the floor, you see gorgeous bouquets of flowers in front of Representative Buckner and Representative McCann, both of whom are celebrating, Capitol Choir, I need you, their birthdays today. So please join us in wishing both Representatives Buckner and McCann a very happy birthday. Are we ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Representative Buckner and McCann. Happy birthday to you. Well done, well done.
Further announcements and introductions. Representative Janal and Representative Arndt.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As a proud alumni of CSU, I wanted to let you know that tomorrow is Colorado State University's Founders Day, and this day celebrates the founding of Colorado State University, which is 145 years old. And not only will the president of CSU be here tomorrow, but also the presidents of CSU Pueblo and CSU Global Campus.
Representative Arndt, give me 2 seconds here, so. May we have quiet in the chambers, please? Representative Arndt, please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Outside the old Supreme Court chamber from 8 to 9, there'll be coffee conversation, and because we know who's in charge, there will be breakfast burritos there. In addition, the CSU choir will sing 8:30 to 9 in the third floor rotunda. So swing by tomorrow, say hello to leadership of the CSU system, and appreciate CSU and all they do for our state. Thank you.
Happy birthday, CSU.
Thank you. Representative Wilson and Representative Navarro, or? Okay.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Colleagues, I think most of you knew that the Colorado Nurses Association was here at the Capitol yesterday, and many of you had a fantastic meal last night. That was great, and one of those individuals is here this morning, and I wish that I could introduce Scott Schaefer by name from the Colorado Association of Nurses and Anesthetists, but I can't do that because I would be fined. But Scott is right over there.
Nice try, Representative Wilson. That'll be a $3 fine. Representative Young. Oh, Representative Lee.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
You were just looking young this morning.
Thank you, Madam
Yeah,
Speaker,
you're
as
very
are
welcome.
you. The Judiciary Committee that was cut short last night, those bills will be on the calendar next Thursday, the 18th. So be prepared for the bills that we did not hear last night because of the aborted meeting will be heard a week from tomorrow. Thank you, members.
Representative Navarro.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And just a reminder that today is the Behavioral Health Caucus at noon in room 356. I would love to see you all there. Thank you.
Representative Garnett and Representative Durant.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, this is just a reminder of the wonderful Metropolitan State University of Denver reception that is going to happen this evening from 5:30 to 7:30. It's going to be in Denver off of 7th Street. You have information on your desk, and we really want to see you there tonight. It's a meaningful step in terms of workforce development, some of the work that they're doing when it comes to aerospace science, space flight, space exploration, and space physics. So hope to see you.
Representative Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And members, we hope you can stop by tonight. You can take a turn in the flight simulator. You can learn more about balloon satellite launches and meet our next generation of explorers. So please stop by.
Representative Singer.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, especially members of the Wildfire Matters Reviews Committee, today in the Capitol Rotunda, just outside on the West Steps, you will see a giant trailer out there with our amateur radio operators. These are our emergency service operators that want to show you what they can do for your community when disaster strikes. So please come on out. Come visit these amateur radio operators. They will be here till about 3 o'clock this afternoon. I asked them to get out of the rotunda so we could actually get out at a reasonable hour ourselves. But in the meantime, please come visit with them. Come see what they can do for your community when disaster strikes. And thank you, Madam Speaker.
Representative Janal.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I just want to welcome Warner Elementary School. There are fourth graders here today from Fort Collins, and I'm not sure if they're in the gallery or sitting on the sides yet, but let's give Warner Elementary School from Fort Collins a warm welcome, please. Thank you.
Representative Arndt.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I guess it's all CSU all day, or all week. So today, also, we have the Student Association of Government from Colorado State University here with the students, and so please welcome them to the Capitol and thank them for being interested in our government.
Are there further announcements and introductions? Seeing none, the next order of business is second reading, general orders. Representative Melton. Representative Melton.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the House now resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for consideration of general orders.
You have heard the motion. If there are no objections, Representative Melton will take the chair.
Committee will now come to order. With your unanimous consent, the bills will be read by title unless there is a request for the reading of a bill at length. Committee amendments will not be read unless requested as they are printed and in your bill folders. Floor amendments will be shown on the screen and on your iPads and not read unless requested. Bills will be laid over upon motion of the majority leader, and the coat rule is relaxed. Representative Hamner. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1237.
House Bill 1237, Representative Hamner, also Senator Lambert, concerning a supplemental appropriation to the Department of Agriculture.
Representative Hamner.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And Mr. Chair, I'm so sorry.
Can I fine? Am I allowed to fine?
Okay. We're off to a great start, Mr. Chair.
Please proceed.
Mr. Chair, with your permission, I'd like to just do a little overview about the supplemental package, if that's all right.
Yes,
Thank you. And I know we're talking first about the House Bill 1237. But members, just as a reminder, we are in the supplemental process where we're actually making amendments to the long bill that we passed last year. This is an annual process. As you know, we make a forecast about what the budget picture will look like, and as the budget unfolds and forecasts come forward, we have to make some revisions. I know we've all talked about them with our caucuses yesterday, and I just wanted to remind you that that's the process we're in. So,
Representative Rankin. Yes. Representative Rankin.
Mr. Chairman, I move House Bill 16-1237, the Department of Agriculture supplemental for 2015-16.
To the bill. Representative Rankin.
Mr. Chairman, there aren't any significant comments unless members have issues that they would like to ask questions on. I move the bill.
Is there any further discussion on House Bill 1237? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1237. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. House Bill 1237 is passed. Mr. Kohler, please read the title, House Bill 1238.
House Bill 1238, Representative Hamner, also Senator Lambert, concerning supplemental appropriation to the Department of Corrections.
Representative Rankin.
Mr. Chairman, I move House Bill 16-1238, the Department of Corrections supplemental bill for 15-16.
To the bill.
Mr. Chairman, there's a significant improvement to the budget through the Department of Corrections based simply on head count. So the allocation to private prisons has decreased dramatically. If you notice by the way, members, if you have your red books in front of you, we'll be walking through the red books. So that will allow you to follow along and join in the conversation. So,
is there any further discussion on House Bill 1238? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1238. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. House Bill 1238 is passed. Mr. Kohler, please read the title to House Bill 1239.
House Bill 1239, Representative Hamner, also Senator Lambert, concerning a supplemental appropriation to the offices of the Governor and Lieutenant Governor and State Planning and Budgeting.
Representative Hamner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move House Bill 1239.
To the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. House Bill 1239 is the supplemental request from the Office of the Governor. I ask for a yes vote.
Is there any further discussion on House Bill 1239? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1239. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. House Bill 1239 is adopted. Mr. Kohler, please read the title, House Bill 1240.
House Bill 1240, Representative Hamner, also Senator Lambert, concerning a supplemental appropriation to the Department of Healthcare Policy and Financing.
Representative Young.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move House Bill 161240, the supplemental for healthcare policy and financing. There is no committee report.
To the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members, this particular bill's write-up begins on page 20, goes through several pages. Be happy to answer any questions. Otherwise, I ask for your support.
Is there any further discussion on House Bill 1240? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1240. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. House Bill 1240 is adopted. Mr. Kohler, please read the title, House Bill 1241.
House Bill 1241, Representative Hamner, also Senator Lambert, concerning a supplemental appropriation to the Department of Higher Education.
Representative Hamner.
I think it's too late. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move House Bill 1241.
To the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is the supplemental adjustment for the Department of Higher Education for 14-15 and 15-16. I ask for a yes vote.
Is there any further discussion on House Bill 1241? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1241. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. House Bill 1241 is adopted. Mr. Kohler, please read the title to House Bill 1242.
House Bill 1242 by Representative Hammer, Senator Lambert, concerning supplemental appropriation to the Department of Human Services.
Representative Young.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move House Bill 16-1242, the supplemental for the Department of Human Services. There is no committee report.
To the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This particular bill's information is found in your red book on page 30. I ask for your aye vote.
Is there any further discussion on House Bill 1242? Seeing none, the question before us is its passage. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. House Bill 1242 is adopted. Mr. Kohler, please read the title, House Bill 1243.
House Bill 1243 by Representative Hamner, Senator Lambert, concerning supplemental appropriation to the Judicial Department.
Representative Hamner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move House Bill 1243.
To the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. House Bill 1243 is the supplemental for the Judicial Department. I ask for a yes vote.
Seeing no further discussion on House Bill 1243, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1243. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. House Bill 1243 is adopted. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1244.
House Bill 1244 by Representative Hammer, Senator Lambert, concerning a supplemental appropriation to the Department of Law.
Representative Rankin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move House Bill 16-1244, the Department of Law supplemental for 15-16. There's no committee report.
To the bill. Representative Rankin.
Nothing to report, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1244. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. House Bill 1244 is adopted. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1245.
House Bill 1245 by Representative Hamner, Senator Lambert, concerning supplemental appropriation to the Department of Military and Veterans Affairs.
Representative who wants to take this one? Rankin.
Mr. Chairman, I move House Bill 16-1245, the Department of Military Affairs supplemental for 15-16. There's no committee report.
Is there any further discussion on House Bill 1245? Representative Rankin.
Good department, vote yes.
Excellent. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1245. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. House Bill 1245 is adopted. Mr. Kohler, please read the title, House Bill 1246.
House Bill 1246 by Representative Hammer, Senator Lambert, concerning supplemental appropriation to the Department of Personnel.
Representative Rankin.
Mr. Chairman, I move House Bill 16-1246, the Department of Personnel supplemental 15-16. There's no committee report.
Is there any further discussion on House Bill 1246? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of House Bill 1246. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. House Bill 1246 is adopted. Mr. Kohler, please read the title, House Bill 1247.
House Bill 1247 by Representative Hammer, Senator Lambert, concerning supplemental appropriation to the Department of Public Health and Environment.
Representative Young.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move House Bill 16-1247, the supplemental for public health and environment, and there is no committee report.
Is there any further discussion on House Bill 1247? Representative Young.
I ask for your aye vote.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of House Bill 1247. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. A little confused. The ayes have it. House Bill 1247 is adopted. Mr. Kohler, please read the title, House Bill 1248.
House Bill 1248 by Representative Hammer, Senator Lambert, concerning a supplemental appropriation to the Department of Public Safety.
Representative Young.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move House Bill 16-1248, the supplemental for the Department of Public Safety. There is no committee report.
To the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I ask for your aye vote.
Seeing no further discussion on House Bill 1248, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1248. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. House Bill 1248 is adopted. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1249.
House Bill 1249 by Representative Hammer, Senator Lambert, concerning a supplemental appropriation to the Department of Regulatory Agencies.
Representative Rankin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move House Bill 16-1249, the Department of Regulatory Agencies supplemental.
To the bill. Representative Rankin.
No significant comments, Mr. Chairman. Vote yes.
Seeing no further discussion on House Bill 1249, the question before us is the adoption. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. House Bill 1249 is adopted.
They don't like the bill.
Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1250.
House Bill 1250 by Representative Hamner, Senator Lambert, concerning a supplemental appropriation to the Department of Revenue.
Representative Hamner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move House Bill 1250.
To the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. House Bill 1250 is the supplemental for the Department of Revenue. I ask for a yes vote.
Seeing no further discussion on House Bill 1250, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1250. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. House Bill 1250 is adopted. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1251.
House Bill 1251 by Representative Hamner, Senator Lambert, concerning a supplemental appropriation to the Department of the Treasury.
Representative Rankin.
Mr. Chairman, I move House Bill 1251, the Department of Treasury supplemental for 1516.
To the bill.
There are no significant issues, Mr. Chairman.
Seeing no further discussion, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1251. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. House Bill 1251 is adopted. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1252.
House Bill 1252 by Representative Hamner, Senator Lambert, concerning funding for capital construction and making supplemental appropriations in connection therewith.
Representative Rankin.
Mr. Chairman, I move House Bill 1252, the last of our supplementals for capital construction supplemental for 1516.
To the bill.
Mr. Chairman, there are no significant issues on this bill. It's simply a cash fund allocation for the School of Mines to complete a building from their own cash funds. In case you happen to dislike the School of Mines, you might vote no. Otherwise, it's a good bill. Thank you.
Is there any further discussion on House Bill 1252? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of House Bill 1252. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. No. The ayes have it. House Bill 1252 is adopted. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1253.
House Bill 1253 by Representative Hamner, Senator Stebbins, concerning adjustments to the amount of total program funding for public schools for the 2015-16 budget year in connection with making and reducing an appropriation.
Representative Hamner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move House Bill 1253.
To the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. House Bill 1253 is the mid-year adjustment for school finance. It actually slightly increases per pupil funding and decreases the negative factor. I hope to have your yes vote.
Is there any further discussion on House Bill 1253? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of House Bill 1253. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. House Bill 1253 is adopted. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1254.
House Bill 1254 by Representative Young, also Senator Grantham, concerning post-board training concerning wrongs to persons with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
Representative Young.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move House Bill 1254. There is no committee report.
To the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This bill actually just provides spending authority from any number of different cash funds so that the Post Board can begin to create training to comply with an implementation date of Senate Bill 15109 for mandatory reporting for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. I ask for your aye vote.
Is there any further discussion on House Bill 1254? Representative Pavone.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. This is a very important bill that we set out as part of the Marijuana Cash Fund opportunity to fund these types of trainings. This is a good use of those funds and ask for your support. Thank you.
Is there any further discussion on House Bill 1254? Representative Hamner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Representative Pabon. I'm glad to hear that the floor has woken up here this morning. Thank you.
Is there any further discussion on House Bill 1254? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of House Bill 1254. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. House Bill 1254 is adopted. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1082.
House Bill 1082 by Representatives Garnett and Willett, also Senator Todd, concerning area vocational schools in connection with changing the name of area vocational schools to area technical colleges and adding representation for area technical colleges to certain boards.
Representative Garnett.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move House Bill 1082.
To the bill.
Members, this is a very straightforward, common sense bill. This bill changes all the references to area vocational schools and state statute to area technical colleges. It also adds a representative of area technical colleges to the membership of the Concurrent Enrollment Advisory Board and the Colorado Workforce Development Council, and I urge you to support this bill.
Representative Willett.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This bill is so good. I hadn't seen this before. It came out of committee on a super motion with more than unanimous support, and I'm here on in a bipartisan showing, and also for the West Slope Delta Montrose Voc Technical College.
Representative Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And just a question, and I wasn't in on the committee, but did the vocational schools ask you for this change? And what is it going to cost extra for these schools to change their signage, to change their envelopes and that kind of thing?
Representative Garnett.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Representative Brown. They under statute, or they can change through a motion. They can change their name, and which all three have already done. We are just going back and aligning statute with what these institutions have already done.
Is there any further discussion on House Bill 1082? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of House Bill 1082. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. House Bill 1082 is adopted. Mr. Kohler, please read the title, House Bill 1061.
House Bill 1061, Representatives Carver and Nordberg, also Senator Todd, concerning a requirement that the transportation infrastructure needs of federal military installations be given full consideration during the preparation of the comprehensive statewide transportation plan.
Representative Carver.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move House Bill 1061.
To the bill.
This bill is based upon a study that was done based upon a direction from this body in 2014. And the report came out last year. The study covered the military sector in Colorado, the importance of the military sector, and also made recommendations on those areas that we needed to focus on. One of those areas was transportation. And the report, which came from the Colorado Department of Military and Veterans Affairs, specifically said that we needed to focus in a statewide, within our statewide process on transportation deficiencies with our 6 active duty installations, which includes Buckley, the Academy, Peterson, and 3 others. And so that's what this bill does. It simply follows up on that recommendation. It is supported by the Colorado Department of Military and Veterans Affairs, and it has no fiscal note.
Representative Nordberg.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. As the DoD plans to cut about $1 trillion in defense spending over the next few years, it's just essential and critical that Colorado remains engaged in the planning process for our military and our military infrastructure in Colorado. This message goes a long way to send that signal to the Pentagon that we are engaged and that we remain committed to being a vital part of our nation's defense infrastructure. So please vote yes. Good bill.
Is there any further discussion on House Bill 1061? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of House Bill 1061. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. House Bill 1061 is adopted. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1144.
House Bill 1144, Representatives Becker, Jay, and Pedersen, concerning transparency in post-secondary courses offered to high school students.
Representative Becker.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move House Bill 1144 in the Education Committee report.
To the Education Committee report, Representative Becker.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members, the Education Committee put on an amendment that would just tell the higher institution that they had to send down what the classes do to the high schools so the high schools exactly know what's going on and put that information onto the parents as well. It's a very good amendment. Ask for an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion on the Education Committee report? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of the Education Committee report. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The Education Committee report is adopted. To the bill, Representative Pedersen.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. What this bill does is it requires the public high school students education provider to notify the parents and the students if they are taking a course that does not meet the requirements of the Concurrent Enrollment Programs Act, and that they also provide information on low to no cost alternatives. And I ask for your support.
Is there any further discussion? Representative Garnett.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I want to thank the sponsors for bringing this bill forward. I also want to bring to the members' attention that there's a lot of confusion when it comes to the concurrent enrollment programs here in the state of Colorado. In 2009, we created the concurrent enrollment program, and most of the courses that are eligible for that program are tuition free and are transferable. But there are other concurrent enrollment programs that are not free, that are paid for out of pocket, and that are not transferable, but are called by the same name, and it's causing a lot of confusion for our parents across the state. So this bill goes one step in trying to clean up some of that confusion, but I hope this body continues to work to iron out the rest of that confusion. I just want to thank the sponsors again and urge an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion on House Bill 1144? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of House Bill 1144. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. House Bill 1144 is adopted. Madam Majority Leader, is there a bracelet on your... No, I guess not. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I did take my wristband off from going to the Denver Broncos parade yesterday. But good catch, good catch. With that, I move the committee rise and report.
Seeing no objection, the committee will rise and report.
The House will come back to order. Mr. Kohler, please read the report of the Committee of the Whole.
Madam Speaker, Committee of the Whole begs the report is under consideration. The following attached bills being the second reading thereof and makes the following recommendations thereon. House Bills 1061, 1082, 1144, amended 1237, 1238, 1239, 1240, 1241, 1242, 1243, 1244, 1245, 1246, 1247, 1248, 1249, 1250, 1252, 1253, 1254. Passed on second reading in order to gross place on counter for third and final passage.
Very good, Mr. Kohler. Representative Melton.
Speaker, I move that the House now adopt the report of the Committee of the Whole.
You have heard the motion, and there are no amendments. Mr. Kohler, please open the machine, and members proceed to vote. Representatives Del Grosso, Lawrence, and Rankin. Close the machine. With 65 ayes, no noes, and no excuse, the report of the Committee of the Whole is adopted. The next order of business is consideration of resolutions. Mr. Kohler, could you please read the title of SJR 3?
Senate Joint Resolution 3 by Senator Sonnenberg, also Representative Vigil, concerning approval of Water Project Revolving Fund eligibility lists administered by the Colorado Water Resources and Power Development Authority.
Representative Vigil. And members, could we please have your attention? We are now in reading of resolutions.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move SGR 16003. To give a brief explanation, the 003 is a resolution that concerns approval of water projects, the revolving fund eligibility list administered by the Colorado Water Resources and Power Development Authority. And this is a huge list, and it involves, for smaller communities, bigger communities, communities of all sizes, water and wastewater projects. And it's the resolution that keeps our safe drinking water safe, and also may make sure that the water that goes out the other end is also safe for reuse in many cases back to streams and for downstream use. But anyway, this is a big economic development jobs resolution. There are, I believe there's 377 projects, over $5.4 billion worth of projects out there, and so it's just a huge jobs project. So with that, if there's any questions, I'd like to answer those, but please vote yes on this resolution.
SJR 003 is properly moved. Is there further discussion? Representative Mitch Bush.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Representative Vigil. I rise in strong support of 16003. This is a critical bill, especially for our small rural communities. It focuses both on safe drinking water projects, for which these communities often do not have the money to invest. It also focuses on wastewater projects. The recipients range from towns to water districts to homeowners associations, a wide variety of groups. I would urge an aye. Thank you.
Is there further discussion on SJR 003? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of SJR 003. Is there objection to taking a voice vote? Seeing none, all those in favor of SJR 003 say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries. SJR 003 is adopted. Co-sponsors. Close the machine. We're now into announcements and introductions. Are there further announcements and introductions? Representative Lontine.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And members, I just wanted to announce the presence of the Colorado Optometric Association and their leadership class for 2016. And we have several doctors over here. So thank you for your attention, and please welcome them to our chambers.
Thank you, Representative Lontine. That's a $3 fine. Representative Vigil. Representative Vigil.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members of the Ag, Livestock, and Natural Resource Committee, listen up. We're going to meet upon adjournment as soon as possible, hopefully 10 minutes from time of adjournment. We have one bill up. It's Senate Bill 15 by Vigil, rules for allowed marijuana pesticides. So let's try to be there so we can get our work done and be done quickly. Thank you.
Representative Dorr.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to quickly introduce some good students from Lyman High School who've traveled out here this morning to join us. Half of them are here, half of them are up there, and we'll give them a good welcome from the State House as they visit us.
Representative Ryden.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members of the State Veterans and Military Affairs Committee, we will not be hearing House Bill 1126 this morning, but we will be hearing House Bill 1070 with Representative Neville, House Bill 1147 with Representative Navarro, and House Bill 1148 with Representative Sias. We'll see you on adjournment. Thank you.
Further announcements and introductions. Seeing none, Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the House stand in recess until later today at 1:30 p.m.
The motion is that the House stand in recess until later today at 1:30 p.m. Is there any objection? Seeing none, so ordered.